5, 4, 3. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. Kyle is here as well. Kyle, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. It is spring, yet the last few days it has felt more like summer, but today it felt a little bit more like springtime, so it was a very nice day out, so definitely we'll take it, and we're going to take you right into another episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. But before we get to tonight's episode, obviously want to throw a special shout out to our sponsors for tonight's episode. That would be Zyman Organizing and Wes Woodson. Big shout outs to them and all that they do in their respective fields, and also just their support and friendship and sponsorship and all that good stuff, not just for us, but also for Marvel at the Movies and the Sports Blitz as well. So thank you to them, and as always, their links will be in the description below. So for tonight's episode, I actually kind of a cool idea that we haven't actually touched on a whole lot here on all of our episodes so far of making this show. And obviously, most of you out there watching probably know or have some idea what a bucket list is. A bucket list, for those of you who don't know or need a little refresher, is a list of things that you want to do in your life. You know, things you haven't done before that you want to accomplish by the time, throughout the course of your life, I guess I should say. And so,
I just watched that movie the other day. Just now that you mention it, there's a movie literally called The Bucket List.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, but I'll take your word for it.
Good, pretty good. Yeah, I started watching, but yeah, it was just funny that you mentioned that. I'm like, I literally watched that movie last night. Wow. Okay. Anyways,
very cool. Well, there you go. Good segue. But no, so what kind of I thought would be fun to do tonight is sort of go through a bit of our sports bucket list. Some sports related things that we would love to accomplish as we go further on into our time on this earth. And I mean, there's a lot of ways this could go, and I'm very intrigued to see how this is going to go. So I guess let's just jump right into it, Kyle.
All right.
So when you think about your sports bucket list, and again, this could be anything sports related that we're talking about here, just because I'm very intrigued to hear your answer to this, what comes to mind as it doesn't have to be every single thing, but some of the, even just some of the top items that you think about when it comes to, like I said, your sports bucket list?
I mean, wow. Well, I will say, I guess at one point, I'll start with this one. At one point, I would like to at least maybe attempt to go to the Olympics. Just some point in my life. Maybe not, I wouldn't do this or make this a regular thing, because I'm sure it's expensive as hell to get in. But I think it would be fun, if, I don't know, just travel out and go to one of the upcoming Olympic events, whether it's winter, summer, maybe preferably summer, just so I don't have to worry about all the crazy cold weather. But I don't know, I think that'd be kind of fun just to do something like that at some point. Because I love track and field, and as you guys know. And I guess all right, I'll which actually kind of is a nice segue into another one. I would like to, at some point in my life, I'm not looking at a specific age or anything, but I wouldn't mind coaching a track team. Maybe not as a head coach of a track team, but maybe coaching the throwers or something like that. So
yeah. Kyle, as we referred to in past episodes, definitely has a wide experience of in track, obviously from high school and through college. So definitely not lacking in the experience category when it comes to that particular sport.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think those two would be pretty good starters for now. Otherwise, I mean, I've been. You know what? I'll hand it to you, and if I come up with any more ideas, I'll throw them in there at the
Sure.
very end. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think those would be my top two for now.
Okay.
So
No,
yeah.
those are very, very valid ones. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could go with this particular topic, and honestly, you could spend hours and hours for probably going through all the different little things that you'd like to do sports-wise that you haven't yet done. So, I was kind of thinking about this, and mine are going to be definitely all event related, because there's quite a few events that I would love to, if I had the opportunity, would love to try to get to, throughout my life. Some are more reasonable than others, just from sort of a financial and logistical point of view. So I think my top ones sort of fit into that category for me, of ones that I could actually like see myself doing from sort of a, again, financial and just logistical point of view. So there's 4 events that sort of top my list. The first one is, I've always heard about every summer in Alaska, there's what's called the Midnight Sun baseball game, where literally there's a baseball game that begins at midnight. Because in Alaska, for those of you who don't know, they basically are like, the sun like basically is up like pretty much like all day long.
Crazy.
I think it's like 20 out of 24 hours the sun is up during the summer in Alaska. And so they actually have a baseball game every year where they start at midnight, and it's like the sun is still up, which is, I think, is really wild. And so I would love to like actually go and see that midnight sun game. I think that would be a pretty awesome thing to do. The second thing for me is, I would love to go to the Little League World Series, just as someone who, loves baseball, has grown up loving baseball. I've grown up watching the Little League World Series since I can remember. I've always wanted to go to Williamsport and see it actually in person, and I think that definitely hopefully some year I'll be able to make that dream into reality, because that would just be something that'd be really fun to do, and it's pretty expensive, because I think it's pretty much like free to go to the games themselves. So literally it would just be like the travel and like lodging costs, so it wouldn't be all that bad from a financial point of view. And like I said, it would just be really, really fun to do. The wildest thing, is Kyle can somewhat attest to, is that twice in the past like decade or so, actually, Wellesley, our hometown, my current hometown, Kyle's old hometown, actually came within like 2 games of making it to the Little League World Series back in 2012, and then again in 2016. So like, they've come actually really close to making it all the way. So that would even be more wild if like somehow they made it. And then,
that would be cool.
I mean, but I would just like I said, I would just love to go, just period, and go see a Little League World Series.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 kind of fit into the same category for me, so I'm going to kind of do them as a tandem.
Okay.
I would love to go see both a Clemson University home football game and a University of Alabama home football game. Just because,
cool.
like,
all right.
From what I've heard, like, the tradition, the pageantry, the, like, history of those programs, and just the atmospheres that, like, surround their home game day experience, just is, like, unmatched when it comes to, like, college football. And so I would just love to go and see. There are a few like college football teams I'd love to see play at home, but those are probably 2 of the top ones, just because, like I said, I would just love to go see, both not even just the teams themselves, but just like the atmosphere, like the game day atmosphere. for both those teams, I think would be something that'd be really, really fun to do. And I actually thought of one more. I know I said I was going to do 4, but I'm actually going to bump in a fifth one
throw
here.
it in there.
Like I said, talking about my last 2 made me think of it again. So, a little backstory here. When we were in high school, there was a reality show on MTV called Two-A-Days. And it chronicled...
I remember that.
And it chronicled the high school football team, Hoover High School in Hoover, Alabama. It was on for 2 seasons, and I just really fell in love with that show, and really, ever since then, have basically been kind of a from a distance follower of the Hoover High School football team every season. And so I would just love, just because that show, to actually go and see a Hoover High School football game in person. I think that'd be pretty wild to do. So again, just talking about college football just kind of made me remember that was sort of a additional one at the top of my list. So really, I kind of just list my top 5 there. Again, there's a lot more I could go into. I mean, again, you could spend hours and hours going over all the things you love to do, but definitely those are my top 5. It's sort of my wish list of sports related items. So I don't know,
Cool.
Kyle, before we kind of move on here, I don't know as we've been sitting here, if you had any others that sort of popped into mind.
So actually, yes, I had 2 more that I wanted to just kind of throw in there that just literally popped up. So one just kind of, and I think I literally got this from the movie The Bucket List as I was watching it last night. 'Cause I was like, that's actually kind of a cool idea. Scary but cool. I would not mind going skydiving. I think that would be a lot of fun. Skydiving is technically a sport, a very dangerous sport, but the good news is you do get to skydive with someone who is professionally trained. So I don't know. I just think it'd be really, really interesting to try that, and yeah, I don't know. Just at one point, just give it a shot. Doesn't have to be super, super high. Just, yeah, whatever kind of lesson I can get from that. And the other one is this one. I'm kind of trying to make this really happen very soon, actually. So, but I always it's been on my bucket list for a little while, but I'm trying to make it more a reality, and it has to do with I recently joined a running club, and which is a really fantastic running club, by the way, just amazing. Everyone's so nice there, and they're very supportive, which is great because I am clearly the slowest one on the club by far.
But you're doing it. That's the most important thing. So
there you go.
You go, Kyle.
and I just love how they really support you with that. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you are. It's everyone. We all have a good time at the end of the day, and it's a great workout. So I would like to work up to doing a race, maybe like a 5K. I'm thinking of, so. Just because I think it'd be kind of fun.
You can do it, Kyle. I have faith in you.
Thank you.
You're gonna do it. You are going to do it.
I'm thinking, you know what? I'm doing this 5K. I'm not gonna be in first place, but I'd rather not be in dead place. As long as I don't get in dead place, then I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to pass out in the middle of the race or anything like that. So I'm.
Let's not do that.
No,
don't do that.
Gotta start simple, I don't want to just throw myself in a really crazy, situation, but that's let's say that definitely getting some kind of race, mainly I think starting with a 5K, so that'd be really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. I think that is something that definitely is achievable for you, and I want you to do it. I'm rooting for you to do it. So
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's gonna happen. I can feel it in my bones. So very good. So those are some good ones. And again, we sort of just scratched the surface here. I think we'll have to sort of come back and maybe do a future episode of some of our more bucket list items, because again, we could spend hours and hours here talking about our entire sports bucket list for sure. But and if any of you out there have things on your sports bucket list, definitely feel free to drop them in the comments, whether it be here on YouTube or we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. As always, we'd love to hear from you. So definitely drop that comment, and also like and subscribe as well.
Be nice.
But we are going to move on to sort of the end part of our episode here, and I'll go first with my final thoughts. And my final thought is I just want to sort of give a shout out to the couple of Boston area teams that are one unfortunately just saw their playoff run end, but another one is sort of deep in their playoff run as we speak. Here, and that is the Bruins and the Celtics. The Bruins unfortunately had their season come to an end over the weekend against the Carolina Hurricanes, falling to them. But just wanted to...
They got blown out.
Anyway, that pun intended. I mean, that pun aside, I think that I'm just trying to say that I want to send a shout out to the Bruins for a great year, and thank you for a lot of great memories this season, and hoping for the best for next year. But the bigger one is the Celtics, who for the second time in 3 years have found themselves in the Eastern Conference Finals, and for the second time in 3 years find themselves going up against the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1 is actually going on as we speak. And what was I going to say? The Celtics, to get there, defeated the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday in Game 7 of that series. So very exciting time for them. And so hopefully they can take it to the Heat and maybe get to an NBA Finals finally for the first time since 2010 was the last time they made it to the NBA Finals. So we shall see, but just big shout outs to both the Bruins and the Celtics for me. So now it's time to toss it on over to Kyle for another riveting edition of the Sue's Reviews. So Kyle, what do you got?
So this week I wanted to talk about the newest Marvel movie that came out. Technically it was about a couple weeks ago, I believe. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is a movie that before going in, you want to try to stay away from the spoilers. They have released a couple light spoiler trailers. And I'm just like, come on, guys. I don't think that's really necessary. Like, I think it's okay just advertising like Doctor Strange and Wanda Maximoff, and I don't understand why they have to like throw in the extra, but basically it has some like character appearances that get a little bit spoiled. But aside from that, it was a really solid movie. I really enjoyed it. I actually think this is the most fun I've had at a Marvel movie in a long time. To me, like the Marvel movies have been getting a little samey kind of more recently, especially after the great epic finale that was Endgame. I feel like Marvel's kind of trying to find their footing a little bit. And now we're kind of like after the whole, after the great big bad Thanos, spoiler alert, was defeated in that movie, everyone's like, okay, well, where's Marvel going to go for now? And they've really teased the multiverse in a lot of shows and other movies. So, what better way to do it than to introduce it through Doctor Strange, who is literally the hero that can hop between different, or the hero that really, like, he encompasses, like, the magic side of Marvel, essentially. And so the basic story is he finds this girl who hops into his universe, who is from a completely different universe. And then what happens is it ends up becoming kind of a bit of a chase movie as she ends up running away from these evil forces. And I'm not going to spoil exactly how this plays out because I think it's a very interesting twist that actually happens at the very beginning of the movie. And it's a movie that I think you need to see just to really experience it and just to get the full story. But so yeah, basically, Doctor Strange befriends this girl and and it really does show, I think, it has a very unique look into his character and how he's kind of like the guy who he's had to sacrifice his well-being essentially to become a superhero. And I think the movie does kind of delve into that pretty well. It's directed by Sam Raimi, who's directed countless other great movies. He did the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, Darkman with Liam Neeson, the Evil Dead movies, all three of them, including Army of Darkness. He's just done a lot of great stuff, and I think he's a director that really kind of focuses on the characters, and he also adds some very unique elements, mainly horror elements, kind of in his movies. And this movie, I'm going to warn you too, your kids might get a little scared of this one. This movie actually does have kind of scary scenes, and it's not really for the faint of heart at times. Like, it does get pretty violent. I was surprised at how far it went at times. And granted, no, it's not some like overly gory like rated R movie or something like that, but they really pushed the boundaries of the PG-13 there. So just to warn you, there's going to be some scary scenes, and your kids may not like it. But I just love the way they did the characters. I love the way they did Wanda Maximoff this time. Her story is like the way it plays out is very interesting, and I think you guys, I liked her character. There's been some kind of mixed emotions on how they handled her. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I just thought all the characters were really good in this movie. So, yeah, and even Rachel McAdams, who kind of didn't have that much to do, I thought, in the first movie. I thought they kind of gave her a little more in this movie. They actually kind of made her part of the actual adventure this time, which was really great. So, she plays love interest, by the way, if you guys didn't know from the original movie. And so yeah, no, it's a great movie. Got some really good horror elements in it, which is and it also kind of goes. It does feel like a Sam Raimi movie at times. Like, there's times where, yeah, you could tell they kind of reshot some of the movie to make it fit more into like a Marvel movie. But there's also other times where you could tell Sam Raimi directed this. He's got all the crazy tilts and everything. And just the visuals are fantastic. And it's a really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. And the ending just gets so bonkers. Like, you're just like, wait, this is actually happening. Like, you have to you're like, whoa. Like, they go there. So yeah, I think you'll have a good time. It might not please everyone. I will warn you, because I have heard a lot of kind of mixed reviews. I enjoyed it very much, but certain other people didn't quite like exactly where the story went, and they were expecting a little bit of a different movie. But I enjoyed it. Check it out for yourself. See what you guys think. Let me know what you think in the comments and stuff. So yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Very cool. Yeah, people will have to definitely check that out for themselves, and you can either like it or not like it. I mean, that's all I got on that. But
it's the internet.
Yeah. But anyway, that is going to wrap it up for this edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. Again, want to thank our sponsors, Wes Woodson and Zyman Organizing. Shout out to them, and shout out to the Sports Blitz and Marvel at the Movies as well, the other 2/3 of our YouTube trilogy here. Yeah, so that is going to do it for this week's episode. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as always, and as always, he's Kyle, I'm Robbie, we're on a couch, we just talked some sports. And we'll see you next time here on a Couch Talking Sports. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
in the light.
All right.
We're not in the darkness. Even though we merely adopted the darkness.
Yeah.
We were not born into it, nor molded by it.
Oh, you already started recording.
Yes,
Oh my god, I didn't
already
realize that. I was just going to press the button. I'm like, oh, Robbie already
Yes, I already did it.
was way ahead of me.
I already did it.
Apparently
We heard did the entire episode looking like this, just with
just trying to do
hands like this. I don't even know what kind of voice this would be, but
I mean, you're almost like Bane. You just
okay.
need to,
It's okay. Was not gonna blow that reference entirely.
I mean, you need to switch your voice into like a British voice. Once you kind of get that British accent,
Like
course,
like this,
then you're
like this. Like total. No, that's I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that was, but
get in there, get in there.
It's all good. It's all good, baby, baby. All right.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You. God damn, I can't even.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
I was born in it.
We'll do it live.
Molded by it.
Alright, I'm taking this away because that was getting kind of annoying.